Sound like some Viking music, don't it?
Yeah, gotta get it out the mud, that's the only way to win. Who am I to point the finger like I never ever seen? Been through the ups and downs like the letter N. They don't let you through the door, better kick it again. Cause that's the only way to win. That's the only way to go. Gotta get it out the mud, gotta get it out the flow. Cause that's the only way to go, let's go.
Shooting, lights out.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the 6th month of the year, June 1st.
Gives a crap about Trump. I'm sorry, I didn't know my mic was on.
We in the 6th month of the year, sir. We starting a new month. Can we start off right, please?
We did start off right.
It had nothing to do with that man that you talked about. It's a new month, okay?
Yes. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new month for me. There we go. Yes. And I'm feeling good. There you go.
Are you really feeling good?
Somewhat. I'm somewhat feeling good.
Welcome to Shooting Lights Out on June 1st. It's actually weird that we actually started the show at the beginning of the month.
Yeah, the first day of June. Yeah.
But we're here. And I'm pretty sure you already know what we're talking about. It's like the main title of the show. Previewing the NBA Finals. San Antonio Spurs, New York Knicks will revisit how they ended both of their conference finals. Have some interesting thoughts on those series as well. If you're gonna get your WNBA talk, you gotta talk about what happened in WNBA as well.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear a thought from one of our friends.
So we gotta talk about that, and should be a fun way to kick off the month of June. But thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching on the Playmakers Network YouTube channel. Thank you for watching on my personal LinkedIn page. We appreciate you, your support and your love, your comments, and everything that you do to support the Playmakers Network. Y'all know me, the Playmaker during the silence here. You know my co-host over here, Mr. Cole Johnson.
Mm-hmm. What's up?
Anything you'd like to add, sir, before we continue on?
Happy to be here. It's a wonderful, wonderful day in the neighborhood. And I told y'all so.
He'll get to do that later on in the show. That should be fun.
Yes.
With all the exchange of pleasantries out the way, we're going to go around the hardwood.
I'm looking good, yeah. Nigga whisper, yes. Yeah. Oh, Lord, I'm so sorry.
To begin the Around the Hardwood.
You know, when you don't think you were being captured.
You're always captured, sir. And you do it on purpose. That's why I'm not tripping. To begin the Around the Hardwood, I think the NBA is trying to fix an issue, Mr. Johnson.
I thought you were going to say the NBA is going to fix the issue of hiring the wrong coach for the Magic, but that's not what you're talking about. You were talking about the issue of their lottery system. Poor folks.
And you don't mean that. You don't mean that whatsoever.
What me?
Yeah, you don't mean that whatsoever.
Oh no, I don't at all. No. I mean, there's a lot of pros and cons to this lottery system. They've been having an issue with it ever since they instituted it back in 1985. Of course, everybody was crying foul when the Knicks won the very first one. But this is why it is important. The NBA's Board of Governors, owners. Sorry, I can say that later. Voted overwhelmingly Thursday to change the league's draft lottery format, beginning with next year's, not this year's, next year's NBA draft. The new format expands the lottery from 14 to 16 teams, including the 8th seed in each conference in the playoff picture. And
I'll do it for you. Why?
Okay, you saved me that because I actually was going to do that afterwards. And adds anti-tank, beautiful timing though, and adds anti-tanking measures where the bottom 3 teams are dealt lesser chances for the number 1 pick, while flattering odds for teams that do not qualify for the playoffs or the play-in tournament. Maybe I guess to deter teams like the Heat to just stay middle of the road, I guess. The new 3-2-1 lottery, the new quote 3-2-1 lottery, close quote, was put together over the last couple of months and signifies the number of ping pong balls each of the final 3 teams will receive in the lottery. And it's like what the Playmaker said. Wah! Oh, sorry. Most importantly, from the league's perspective, the new format decentivizes teams from tanking and finishing with the worst records. A rampant problem with the league has experience with teams in recent years. Try at least 20. I'm sorry. As they try to accumulate the best possible lottery odds for the draft's top pick. And still fail. The vote was 29-1, as sources told Sharania, with only the Grizzlies voting against the measure. The league said in a statement announcing the changes, quote, since October, the league office has met with key stakeholders to discuss current competitive incentives and solicit ideas aimed at discouraging tanking. That process led to the creation of the 3-2-1 lottery. 3-2-1 lottery, 3-2-1 lottery, 3-2-1 lottery. Close quote. The league will also wield expanded disciplinary authority to address tanking, including the ability to reduce teams' lottery odds, modify teams' draft positions, and impose significant fines on offending teams as part of the new lottery format. Now, under this format, the teams with the 3 worst records will each get 2 ping pong balls, while the teams with the 4th through 10th worst records will get 3 of them. The 3 worst teams will also now have a floor of picking 12th in the draft, further decentivizing them from wanting to be bad. Who's bad? I'm sorry. The numbers 9 and 10 seeds in the play-in in each conference will receive 2 lottery balls each, and the losers of the 7-8 play-in games, they'll receive 1 lottery ball each. Previously, the league drew odds only for teams with the bottom 4 records in the league, while the other 10 were ordered by inverse record. Under this proposal, all 16 teams will be in a drawing, one that, sources said, likely will be done live next year, either going from 1 to 16 or more like it is to be unveiled currently from 16-1 to build more suspense. Your thoughts on the NBA's Board of Governors voting to expand the lottery?
Why do you have a problem with them saying Board of Governors?
Because they're full of, because the NBA is being full of crap.
No, what is your problem with them saying Board of Governors? They are governing teams.
No, they own them.
That too.
Let's get this straight. They ain't no figureheads. They own them. It is the he who owns the gold makes the rules. They own them.
Okay. So Basically, you can't be bad on purpose. I have no issue with that.
Oh, but what they supposed to already disincentivize that?
Problem is, there's so many people, analytics, they can find loopholes in the stuff. So how can you create a system? You can't. Let's go ahead and get out the way. To make sure teams can't purposefully lose and piss off their fan base. So I don't mind the board of governors and others figuring out some type of way. My issue is, why have your goddamn league got to be involved in the lottery?
More than half.
One more than half, but we about to have a special, so it's gonna be half. Both 8 seed teams is involved in the lottery. Why?
Maybe they need the money.
You made the playoffs. You don't need to be in the goddamn lottery.
The board of governors say otherwise.
See, you took an idea, you found a problem to it, you came up with a pretty good solution until you added that part. So pretty much, if this would took place this year, the Orlando Magic would be in the lottery. What sense does that make? Oh, check this out, Cole. The Phoenix Suns, they in the lottery. That was the 8 seed, right?
That's correct.
They in the lottery. What sense does that make? Hey, we made the postseason, and we get be in the lottery at the same time. The heck? If y'all don't, you try to fix one thing, you create another problem. So how you gonna fix that problem? I don't understand. Oh, and the funny thing is, you can't win the lottery multiple years in a row. That's even more funny. Because guess what? For those of you who probably can't read between the lines like me and Cole Johnson does, you idiots was picking who was going to win the lottery.
And that's why we don't trust the process. Oops.
But now, from what I heard, it's not confirmed, but from what I heard, with this new system, they're thinking about having Alex Silver be on national television and actually picking these balls.
Who gives a crap?
To show that there's no favoritism in the lottery.
That's a lie.
I don't even know why you say you can't run a lottery but that years. I mean, I don't care about that. But if you're going to put Adam Silver on camera and he's going to go through and pick every team in the lottery to give them their respective order, I'm good. But me and Cole Johnson, we ain't stupid. Go ahead, sir.
And I'm glad you mentioned the commissioner. Ever since Mr. Silver made it clear back in March that fixing the league's tanking issue was a top priority, it was clear that there were going to be fundamental changes into the draft system to accomplish such a goal. The league is hoping that creating several measures that disincentivize losing will lead to significant changes in behavior moving forward, though only time will tell if it actually does that. This is what Silver said following a 2-day NBA Board of Governors owners meeting back in March. Quote, I do think ultimately this is a decision that needs to be made at the ownership level. It has business implications, it has basketball implications, it has integrity implications for the league. So it's one that we take very seriously and we're going to fix it. Full stop. Close quote. See the commissioner calls them owners. I'm sorry. Again, this will take effect next year, not this year. But what is going to take effect starting the fall of this year is my co-host's team actually having their new head coach, the 16th in his franchise. Say hello to Sean Sweeney. They have announced the Magic has the hiring of former Spurs associate head coach Sean Sweeney, I should say current, as the franchise's new head coach. Yes, yeah, I forgot the Spurs are still actually currently playing in the 2026 season. Sweeney, who has spent the season as the lead assistant for the Spurs, he'll replace Jamal Mosley, a favorite with the Playmaker, who was fired after the Magic lost 4-3 in the first round to Detroit in this year's first round series. But he has since become now the new head coach of the Pelicans. Sweeney will finish the remainder of the postseason, of course, with the Spurs. And they'll kick off their festivities hosting the Knicks Game 1 Wednesday night. We'll touch on that later in the program. Former Bills head coach Billy Donovan and Clippers assistant coach Jeff Van Gundy, they were finalists for the Magic's coaching vacancy. But sources said Sweeney and Donovan and Van Gundy held in-person meetings with top Magic officials last week. An executive wing that is fully embraced and endorsed by Playmaker. Before a decision was made to offer the job to Sweeney, who blew Orlando away during his interview process and meeting with ownership Wednesday in San Antonio. Now, sources said that Sweeney ran through San Antonio's defense for Coach of the Year finalist Mitch Johnson this season, guiding an improvement from 25th to 3rd in the NBA's defensive efficiency rankings and garnering praise from the team's young stars, Stephon Castle. He got the nod because of 7'3" man with a 10. Never mind. Woosah.
Stephaine Castle was the only one who said something.
Oh, and Victor Wembanyama. But I'm saying they got that lofty standing because they have a 7'3" giant who has a wingspan of a 10-footer. I'm sorry. The Spurs also ranked top 5 in defensive isolations, on-ball screens, drives, and rim protection. And according to ESPN research, that has been gotten under this year. Under Sweeney, the Spurs made a 28-win improvement to a 62-20 campaign that was tied for 3rd most wins in franchise history, and they've advanced to conference finals. I'm sorry, they've advanced to the NBA finals.
Do you see what time that article was written?
I don't give a damn. Sweeney has served as a lead assistant on a conference finalist and now an NBA finalist in 3 of the past 5 seasons. Sweeney's first head coaching job will be with a Magic team built to contend in the Eastern Conference, with one-time NBA All-Star Paolo Banchero, Franz Wagner, Desmond Bane, and Jalen Suggs. Orlando has failed to make it out of the first round for the last 3 seasons. We won't go over why they didn't make it this year. The 41-year-old has experience working with superstars such as Giannis Antetokounmpo in Milwaukee, Luka Doncic in Dallas, and Wembanyama, of course, in San Antonio. Sweeney's specialty is defense. Really? I couldn't tell. Oh, and he'll inherit a Magic team that was stellar defensively under Mosley. Sweeney has interviewed for several head coaching positions in recent years and was a finalist for such jobs as the Hornets, the Pistons, and the Suns over the last 2 seasons. Your thoughts on your new head coach, the 16th in Magic history.
Before I do that,
And we welcome our brother, Dre Day, Sportswear with Dre Day podcast. We welcome you, brother. He says, my guys with 2 strong arm emojis, black strong arm emojis.
I'm happy you watching. I might have something for you later on in the show.
He probably will like it. Yes, sir. Your thoughts, sir.
All right. So obviously he's getting a new coach. They went away from what everybody was projecting. You thought it was gonna be Billy Donovan. You know. Jeff Van Gundy came in out of nowhere because he's a Van Gundy and lead assistant coach. And lead assistant for the Clippers.
He's always looking to coach somewhere.
Yeah. But, you know, I'm going to be honest with you, the front office. I'm not going to be mad at you for this one. He gave me an unknown. And sometimes having an unknown works out. You giving the man a chance. So I can't be mad at it. He's coaching the team that's in the NBA Finals. Once he's done with that, he make his way from San Antonio down to Orlando, Florida, and see what we can do. However, we didn't have to worry about defense. It was the offense. That's the problem. Now, I'm not going to rehash what I had to go through. About a month ago? I'm not going to rehash that. My co-host said we're not going to revisit it, so I'm not going to revisit it. I'm going to be disciplined and not revisit it. Defense, it's not going to be an issue. But I would like to see how Sweeney and the GM, what each you going to do in the offseason. You're going to get somebody who can put the ball in the bucket to go along with Pablo Banchero and Desmond Bain. How we going to treat Franz Wagner? Because he can't stay healthy. Oh, so I'll say Franz Wagner. He can't stay healthy. Jalen Suggs, I don't know. You might need to go in the time machine and find Gonzaga Jalen Suggs because NBA Jalen Suggs is not it, sir. It's not it. I'm going to give it a chance. I'm not going to overreact. I'm not going to I'm not. The man hasn't been a head coach yet. He's been an assistant. He's been to conference finals. He knows something. So give him a chance. So whether you're, hey, we got a coach, or who in the heck is this guy? Calm down. Get a man a chance. Sometimes you just got to give people a chance. That's why I'm at with it.
So you're happy with the unknown. That's good to know.
Sometimes doing something people don't see actually works. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure you can come up with plenty of examples when something happened you didn't expect to happen. It's like, oh, it actually worked.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, we're gonna give it a chance. We're gonna give it a chance.
Well, to give you a slight resume overview, Sweeney has spent the previous 4 seasons as Jason's kid lead assistant with those crappy Mavericks, coordinating the offense and defense under the Mavs run, that fraudulent run to the 2024 NBA Finals, which he gave me the wonderful result that it gave. Thank you, Celtics. And earning a reputation as one of the best X's and O's minds on the league's front among assistant coaches. Now, Sweeney broke into the NBA coaching ranks as a video coordinator in 2011 for the then New Jersey Nets. Does that track sound familiar? Before moving to the bench in Brooklyn for the 2014 season. He also had stints as the assistant coach with the Bucks from 2014 to 2018. And from 2018 to 2021, he was in the D. Now, oh, and the familiar would be one Mr. Eric Spoelstra. And of course, he famously was in the tape room when old Ryle saw him and put him on the bench. All right, from the NBA ranks,
Yo, you have no thoughts. Interesting.
um, I think it was a mistake that they decided to let go of Mosley. Although I get why. It is an embarrassing thing um to have an advantage in a certain series and then not finish the job. I get that, but if this is not necessarily a portend of things to come, and also get that you all have now made the playoffs, but you probably am looking forward to advancing in the playoffs. My mindset has been with the Magic that they're still young, they're still growing, and growing pains are going to happen. And unfortunately, you might have a couple of years where you're stagnant. And I think that's where the Magic are. I don't think it was with him yet, but we'll find out because if 2027, the Magic actually win their first playoff series in then 19 years, then I'm sorry, 18 years, then we will talk.
Yeah, he was there for 5 years, so
Yeah.
he had his opportunity.
Oh, I'm not saying he didn't have his opportunity, but that's why I said yet. I'm like, I'm not quite sure you should have pulled the plug on him.
And I told you
yet.
and I told you during the season it was going to happen.
And I got that because, yeah, they were like Tom Petty. They were free falling down the east. And so I get that. You know, they could have challenged for the home court the first round, and then they dropped all the way down to the number 8 seed. Yeah, I understand that. So yeah, I think that firing was more along the lines of an indictment of 2026 as it was the fact that he's been there 5 years. But sometimes teams need new voices.
What do I always say about coaching? Get 3 years. Once 3 years is up, you better have a direction and a positive thing going.
Well, that's the thing. They were having a positive thing going in years 4 and 5. They just simply got stuck. And I mean, we weren't really talking about the Magic doing much of anything ever since that deformed idiot Dwight Howard decided to leave the team and push a trade. I mean, were we really talking about the Magic after that? Not for much. Not until around 2022. And it's like, oh, they actually might have something. And now they do.
Expectations grew, and then you failed on your face.
Yeah, the latest fail on that latest falling on the face. That was a really brutal. I'll admit that. That was a brutal falling on face. But Sweeney, I think you might help out the team, and I sort of agree with Playmaker. The one issue that I saw, no, I take that back. The one issue the whole world saw was in one half of one game, and that is these guys couldn't buy a bucket. And in that same game, they only allowed 93 points. So defense isn't something they need work on. They need to find a way to be more fluid on the offensive end. But it may work out. And by the time we turn the page and we get to June 1st of 2027, we might be talking about a Magic team that actually did advance one or maybe even 2 rounds in the playoffs. I mean, similar things happen. The one of the prime examples that come off the top of my head, you had the Warriors, who They seem to basically just be stuck at a certain spot under Mark Jackson. They also couldn't get out the first round. Remember that. Uh, they sort of broke through one year and got to the conference semifinals, but it was sort of sheer luck. But they just simply couldn't break through the first round each year, and then Warriors decided to fire Mark Jackson. Not necessarily for on the court play, but basically behind the scenes stuff. Into Steve Kerr, and they win the championship the very next year. So I think the Magic are probably looking at that for inspiration. Speaking of inspiration, or maybe lack thereof, from the pro ranks to the collegiate ranks, down in my state, not near me, but basically close to Dallas, the Big 12 is becoming the first Power 4 conference to have each of its members sign participation agreements with the College Sports Commission, or CSC. The agency formed last year to police name, image, and likeness payments. Brett Yermark, the commissioner of the Big 12, he had this to say Friday as they were wrapping up 4 days of annual meetings. Quote, "The Big 12 wants rules and enforcements, and we want to be a leader in that area. I think signing a participation agreement certainly is indicative of that." Close quote. The agreement requires schools to waive their right to file lawsuits against the enforcement agency and gives it wide latitude to sanction programs for violating rules that outline how players can be paid after the House settlement last year. But all 68 Power 4 schools must sign the 11-page document for it to become valid. All schools had initially been asked to review and sign the document by this past December. The commissioner of the Big 12 went on to say the following, quote, "I can't speak for other conferences. I mean, obviously they all say what they want, rules and enforcement, but they haven't signed a participation agreement." Close quote. Now, the president of Kansas State, Richard Linton, he said that the Big 12 board of directors, now they would be considered more board of directors than owners, composed of the presidents and chancellors from each of the 16 schools, unanimously agreed to sign the document. Now, Yormark said that the league expected to have all the signatures by early next week. The document outlines rules that have been established since the House settlement was approved last summer. For instance, about the salary cap and the CSC's role in analyzing third-party name, image, and likeness deals through its NIL Go platform. Brian Seeley, the CEO of said CSC, he addressed the Big 12 members and league officials this week during their meetings in the North Texas suburb of Dallas. The CSC said that it cleared more than 26,000 NIL deals worth some $242.3 million through May 1st since its launch. Your thoughts, sir, on the Big 12 wanting to reach its hand in the cookie jar? Wanting to have full participation and regulation with the name, image, and likeness policing.
Where should I begin, sir?
You could begin anywhere of this lunacy that you would like.
I need a direction though.
Okay.
First, I got it. Can we fix one issue at a time?
Oh no.
Can we do that?
No, you know that can't happen. They got a thing that can fix all of them. They can't do that.
To be honest with you, I think me and Coach Johnson probably shouldn't even care about this because we knew it was coming down the pipe ever since we did that episode when we had Nick Saban.
Here we are 5 months later. Yeah.
Great. The House, the Senate, the entire government is finally going to give the NCAA the power for some dumb reason that they don't have.
And you have even the president of the United States endorsement on it.
Now now we're finally in the spot where NCAA beat the NCAA. Thank you, Nick Saban, for the line of a lifetime to Cole Johnson. Go ahead. That one line set this whole thing off. I'll let you say it.
Well, I love it. The fact that the NCAA basically have no teeth in whatever they pass, they can put forth any type of legislation, but it doesn't have any teeth because it needs the government to give it the muscle necessary. I'm like, that was so beautifully done. Your greatest head coach in all of the collegiate sports. I don't care if he's in football. It could be baseball, it could be softball, it could be track, it could be basketball, it could be football. There has not been a bigger head coaching name in the last 15 to 20 years than Nick Saban. And he basically on national television said the NCAA has no pull. That you all are a dummy outfit. You all just simply wear suits, ties, and you just roam into the offices in Indianapolis, and you want to act as though you are the arbiter of amateur athletics, and you have the strong arm of a strongman competitor. And the NCAA, those four letters that you see, I hate to say it, our companies have more pull than yours, NCAA. That is what probably one of the greatest ambassadors in recent NCAA history said about you all.
That's the stupidest thing I have ever heard. You are over college sports and you can't even supervise it properly. Because if you even try to supervise it properly, I'm suing. How do you put yourself in a position to where you can't enforce rules and regulations of your own entity? How does that even happen? And this is where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. This is why we get this lovely article from ESPN, well, from the Associated Press, actually. Thank you, ESPN, for taking it. Right here, because these dummies couldn't enforce their own rule. That's why the government has to get involved to finally give them the power they should already had. Go ahead. You want to add anything else? Go ahead. Because I know we're gonna talk about more of this as the football season get here.
We are, yeah. Because what to say that it is going to be more of an issue when we get into the latter part of the summer and the fall, because the sport that really brings the money to the NCAA, and of course the sport that basically introduced name, image, and likeness in the first place. Yeah, we're going to be talking more about this as the weeks, the months, and unfortunately the years go on, because more than likely we're going to see the other three big conference bad boys, the SEC, the Big 12, the Big 10, and should I even say the ACC will try it? Maybe not, but I think they'll attempt it. But definitely the Big 10 will, and definitely the SEC will. And I find it hilarious because you chumps all know that you are governing a burning house and you don't know how to douse this fire. And you're seeing players actually make more money than you all are making, and you're pissed off about it. And that makes me happy. Now, along with the $242.3 million the CSC says it's cleared through May 1st. The commissioner of the Big 12, Mr. York, he said that he was on a call earlier that week, Friday to be exact, with the CSC and other conference commissioners, and this is what he had to say. Quote, like any startup, and the CSC is a startup, not even 12 months old, you have to think about what's working, what's not, and what are the necessary adjustments, both short-term and long-term, that we should be considering. And we're going to dive into that a little bit more in the coming weeks to determine what that might look like. But I'm bullish on the direction of the CSC. Close quote. Notice you heard other conference commissioners.
Too bad you needed the government to get you this damn far.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad that you finally are here, but the fact you needed the United States government and Donald Trump himself to co-sign on this, to make any movement, it just shows how weak and pathetic you all are. And what a way to end this edition's Around the Hardwood.
We might need to do a special episode on this entire thing with the NCAA, because we can go on for hours about stupidity.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I wanted to go further, but I'm like, no, I know we have more show to do. But yeah, we could easily do that.
Like he said, we got more show to do. So stay tuned. When we come back, we got some recapping to do.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition,
dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
That this guy has shown. Let me shut up. James off the steal.
Rebound by Adams, his sixth. Morant blows by Primo. Attack.
And welcome back. We finna run the fast break right at the gate. And guess what? We are going to start in the WNBA, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Spotlight game of the weekend.
And a good one. The upstart Golden State Valkyries, who look like they're trying to be for real. They hosted the defending champion Las Vegas Aces. The Aces basically said, you still have a little bit more growing up to do. 91-81 was the final score. Of course, the game wasn't that close. It was, of course, led by the 1-2 punch of A'ja Wilson and Jackie Young. A'ja Wilson, the best player on the planet, 28 points, 15 boards, and 4 blocks. Ooh.
She also had 4 assists too. So
how it's just what does this woman not do? The only thing she doesn't do is coach, and I'm sure she can actually coach a team too. I mean, this.
Speaking of coach.
And of course, Jackie Young, she followed it up with 23 points, 7 rebounds, and almost gave you 10 dimes. She gave you 9. And yes, and speaking of coaches, the head coach of the Aces, Becky Hammon, she got her 150th win after the Aces controlled basically the whole second half. They decided to just take off much of the fourth quarter, though.
It's nice to see Jackie Young get off that slump, because she was having a terrible week of games.
Well, I mean, it takes a while. We've only been 3 weeks into the season, so you got to work. You got to work them kinks out, and and you still got another 3-4 months, so she could do her thing. She'll
Also,
be able to get a chance to do her thing.
I'm waiting on an update from Kennedy Carter. She got injured in this game, so we waiting on the update for that. But I hope she's good.
Yeah, we definitely hope Kennedy Carter is good because we need to see that presence on the low block do her thing. Yeah, I agree with you. Oh, and the Aces, they may not be all that great at home, but they are proven to be road warriors.
These girls here, I think they 5-1 on the road. All they win was on the road. They have not won a home game yet.
Maybe they might have to petition the league and say we just want a tour, the whole league, all regular season long.
That got to change, man. If y'all trying to continue this dynasty, y'all got to win at home, man. I'm pretty sure they know that, but
they do.
So,
but they have to come with better effort at home and match that effort as they do on the road, because I think they feel that energy of this team wants to give us that best shot, and we want to disappoint the crowd in the stands. It's a different energy on the road as at home, and I think they got to have a similar type of energy at home, but they got to find a different way to tap into it.
Well, they don't got no more celebrations to have, okay? So that might be.
Yeah, they already doled out the rings and they already spread the banner for last year. So yeah,
and they lost both of them games.
And they lost both of them. They got trounced in the ring ceremony game. But yeah.
And then a former Ace player went off with 38.
Oh yeah, in the banner game, a former Aces player went off of 38 points. Yeah. It's like, this is what you've been missing.
So before we continue on.
Dre, Sports with Dre Day podcast. He says, congratulations to Coach Becky. Yes, congratulations, Miss Hammond. You are definitely one of the best to ever do it on the bench. Really, NBA and WNBA, because you're one of the best assistants that's come across in recent memory too, in the NBA ranks.
All right. That was my spotlight game for the weekend. What should I say? Our spotlight game for the weekend. The quick hits, Mr. Johnson.
All right. So we'll start with the Dream, who they seem to want to be for real. They basically doused the Fire 86-66 with Angel Reese going for 18 points and 12 boards and giving you 5 dimes too. I think we're starting to see one Miss Reese round into form. Hopefully she can continue to show us what she can do and get as comfortable in this at this level as she did when she was in the college level.
By the way, Ryan Howard added 14 points as well in this game.
And that game was in Portland. We will go to Brooklyn as the Liberty held off and beat the Mercury 75-68. Pauline Astier, she went for 16 points. But Nia Laney Hamilton, she added 13.
Good job, Liberty. You won both games at home against the Mercury. After it was a slow start, but you bounced back and took both games at home against the Mercury. There you go.
I think they can probably springboard into something more meaningful. Those games were on Friday. The Saturday game, the Fire returned on a back-to-back back-to-back home game, and they decided to give the Fever the business 100-84. Megan Gustafson gave you 22 points, and the Fire, talk about dousing. It's just that they burned Cailtin Clark to a crisp. She only gave you 6 points.
More from that game later on.
Of course, there's gonna be more from that game.
Not now, later on.
Yeah, of course, there'll be more from that game.
Oh, and by the way, back to the Aces from Mr. Dre.
Yes, and Dre went on again, Sportsway with Dre Day podcast. He says Jackie, talking about Jackie Young, was dealing with some personal stuff but she's back to her old self. And if that is indicative of how she's going to recover and respond, that run that the Aces went on after the All-Star break last year, they may start that run earlier this year.
When they decided not to lose another freaking game.
They started not to lose another game, and they just about did just that. And I mean, even in the playoffs too. Yeah.
Good gracious. They literally went from out the playoffs to we just take the second seed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were undoubtedly the best team in the league from the All-Star break on, and they still have the talent to where they could pull that off. And if you have someone who's focused, like a Jackie Young, with the game she has, and all A'ja Wilson has to do is just step on the court, you cooked. So there you go.
So those the quick hits, the scoreboard sweep.
All right, so on Friday, we had the Mystics. They put a spanking on the Sparks. You have the Sky. They held off the Lynx. The Lynx are really stumbling out the gate.
You got
on the slow side.
You got that back, sir.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The Sparks put a beat down on the Mystics. I'm sorry. The Lynx, they held back the Sky. That was on Fridays. On Saturday, the Tempo slowed down the Storm, and the Sun pissed me off. I'm sorry. They beat the Sparks. The goal is to lose.
They don't incentivize tanking in the WNBA. What's wrong with you?
Now, you and I both know that's a lie. Because the NBA, they have to say they don't incentivize tanking.
I ain't said WNBA. I ain't said NBA.
I know, but the NBA foots the bill a little bit with the WNBA too, though.
That doesn't mean they do the same thing. Jeez. Look here, can't you chill out? Jeez. Can we get through the? I know. Calm down. 2027 will be here, okay? Jeez, calm down.
Okay, fine. I will.
Like a little kid that can't wait. Chill.
That's right. I'm like, doggone it. Don't blow the assignment. You're supposed to be the number. You're supposed to pick number 1 overall for the 2027 draft. You know the deal, son. Do it.
Jeez, they still got to win some games, though. Jeez, they can't lose every goddamn game. What's wrong with you? They got players on there playing with pride, okay? You'll be mad they didn't play with pride.
Well, it's true. You're right. You're right.
I was going to take a break, but I ain't finna take a break now. This man just mad.
I was like, doggone it, son. You have one job. You have one job, cadet, son. You're supposed to ease the comments into 2.0's era with the number 1 overall draft pick. Make it as easy as possible.
They are going to, but they still got a job to do for the players, man. You don't want the team to have a mindset that they can't do jack when they move to Houston.
Hey, fine. I get your point.
Go to Houston, they have a losing mentality. That would be the worst thing ever for Houston.
Yeah, you're right. It would be. I would be highly upset.
And then you'd be up here mad in 2027, but you don't want them to have a losing mentality.
They welcomed and ushered in the new era by the last year in Connecticut just being whooped on and welcome at it. Yeah, you're right.
Jeez. Yeah, you see something positive going in Connecticut before they come to Houston. Jeez. All right, let's go switch to the NBA. Let's get to the conference finals because it's a lot we can say. At the same time, it's a lot that we trying to not say because we got another thing coming in this show, and it's going. Oh my gosh! But what the heck? Now let's just get into it. You already know who it was: Cavs, Knicks in the East, Spurs, Thunder in the West. This is how the East was won.
This is how the East was dominated.
That too, but
130-93 in game 4. We we was inclined in each other's brains. We both last Monday got off this broadcast and finished it by saying we'll give them to about maybe 10:30, 11 o'clock tonight, that night, and we will have a team that will have a finals berth, because we both did not give the Cavaliers any shot of winning this game.
We gave them to them last time. We should have gave them an hour.
Yeah. I was going to say the one thing that we didn't do, we gave them too much time, because by the time we got to maybe the middle part of the second quarter, this game was a wrap. 130-93. Seriously, the game was not that close. And the Knicks, they eased up. You wouldn't think it. You wouldn't think it by how this score was. They literally eased up on the Cavaliers, and the Cavaliers just waved the white flag. Donovan Mitchell, he was scorching hot in the first quarter, and I can't say he cooled off, but he just basically the will was just beaten out of him. Really, 31 points and 4 boards in a losing effort. But here's the impressive part: Cailtin Towns, 19 points, 14 boards, and 3 assists. The Knicks scored 130 points. There wasn't one Knick that scored 20 in this game.
Not one Knick scored 20.
Now, one New York Knickerbocker scored 20 points in a 130-point game that they put forth as an output. Talk about sharing the wealth. Oh, my gosh. Woo.
These dudes have won 11 straight playoff games.
Yeah, 11 straight.
And all of them, except for one, have been double digits.
They have been threatened only by going down 2-1 to the Hawks in the first round.
And they was down 22 in game 1 of this series. But 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
They have ever since being down 2-1 the first round to the Hawks, they have literally run the table. And I'm not talking about run the table, winning the series. They have run the table in the games they have played.
They was down 2-1. Stephen A. Smith then they had a heart attack on national television. And the Knicks haven't lost since. And the Knicks haven't lost since.
Right. We just understand.
And they are the first NBA team to close out all 3 series with 30-plus points.
I don't know if you understand it, ladies and gentlemen. So, like Cisco saying, and I'm singing again. This team in closeout games, they beat up and beat down on the Hawks. They beat up and beat down on the Sixers, and they beat up and beat down on the Cavaliers, and they, at worst, beat them by 30.
And all three was on the road.
That the 30-point victory in Philly was the smallest margin of victory in the 3 closeout games that we're talking about. And yes, the first one was in Atlanta, the second one was in Philadelphia, and this game here was in Cleveland.
They not going home because of that. They going on the road and say, okay, we gonna beat you in your old building. That way you don't have to worry about flying back. You can just fly straight to Cancun.
So for those who want to know, so what do you mean when you say that teams need to have that killer instinct when they have a team down? Just study this Knicks run in 2026 and you'll get it. Because once the Knicks in game 6 against the Hawks in the first round, game 4 against the 76ers in the conference semifinals, and this game, once they sniffed that the opponent was waving the white flag, The Knicks, as a unit, put their feet on the throats of the Hawks, the Sixers, and the Cavaliers, respectively, and crushed them to the ground. This is how you close out a team.
I thought closeout game was supposed to be hard.
I thought they were supposed to be hard too, but obviously you have one you won by almost 50, one you won by 30, and this one you won by 37. I guess it is not that hard for this team. If you average it close to 40 points for a margin of victory in closeout games, whoo, man.
We're talking closeout games. Like, this is it.
Not
Y'all
just
done.
not just a regular game, a closeout game. And for those who are unaware, those of we know many of you are, but for those who aren't, normally when a team is down to their last game in a series, double especially if a team is down 3-0 in a series, you expect that team that's down 3-0 to 3-0 to put forth the most desperate effort of the entire year. The Knicks saw that with the Hawks, and of course in even stronger waves against the Sixers and the Cavaliers, because they swept the Sixers and Cavaliers. And they were like, oh, this is the best you got? In each game in the second quarter, they were like, it's time to put these jokers away. And they summarily dismissed all three of them. And by the middle of the third quarter, you just know, okay, it's time to go back to New York. That's how they thought each of those last three games.
115, 109, 121, 130.
And yes, Kenny Atkinson, you had game one wrapped up with about 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. But guess what happened, son? You still took the L. And your team didn't recover after that.
Just demolishing the Cavs. Cavs had no chance whatsoever.
No chance. No chance. Yeah. No, none.
So the New York Knicks have reached the NBA Finals for the first time since 1999.
Years.
You know, ironically, there's something interesting about that 1999 series, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, we will touch on that. Definitely.
But congratulations to the Knicks.
Yes. Congratulations to the Knicks. Congratulations to you, Dre Day, because I know you're a huge Knicks fan. And definitely congratulations to my ace. My ace. Wilfredo Otero, or Wiser Lefe. He, a big-time Knicks fan. He gets to celebrate hard because his team now gets a chance to bring home a championship for the first time in 53 years.
Who would they face in the NBA Finals? So the Western Conference Final went to a
Game 7
in Oklahoma City. People was feeling Oklahoma City. Some people was feeling the Spurs. It was almost an even split. And I got to admit, thank you to everybody who was commenting on either on TikTok, Facebook, Threads. Gracious. I put this graphic up and people just went to go commenting. I'm like, okay. It was about a 50-50 split, Mr. Johnson. And then Game 7 happened.
It was a case of the Spurs really came out blazing. And the Thunder played catch up almost the entire game. And you thought, okay, well, maybe the Thunder's going to make it a game at half. But it was like no matter what the Thunder did, the Spurs had an answer for it. 111-103 was the final score. The Spurs had, I think, an 11-point lead at one point, like somewhere in the fourth quarter, I think. I can't remember if it was early or midway through.
Hey,
but around the fourth quarter.
They had a 14-point lead in the first quarter before the Thunder came back responding.
Yeah, they had a 14-point lead in the first half. But it's just, I look at this game and it was beautiful to witness. We'll start with the two-headed monster that led the way. Victor Wembanyama, who he basically just did his thing, 22 points, 7 boards, and he influenced a lot of shots in that game. Of course, you have Julian Champagny, I'm sorry. 20 points, 6 rebounds, and that dude could not miss from beyond the arc if he was blindfolded. 6 of 10 from deep. It's just it was a really good offensive display of the Spurs and timely defense. People can rave about that chase down block that
Luke Cornett.
People could talk about that chase down block that LeBron James put forth on Andre Iguodala 10 years ago in the finals. That Luke Cornett block of Isaiah Hartenstein. Oh yeah, beautiful. I mean, Hartenstein was coming with force, and Cornett still said, "No, sir, get that out of here."
And then not that far later, Victor Wembanyama, he didn't get the block, but he hustled back and got away from, I believe it was Cailtin while he was trying to shoot a 3 on a fast break.
And that's why I said earlier, Wembanyama, he may not have had the spectacular block stats, but he changed a good amount of shots in this game. That's one of them.
The Spurs out thundered the Thunder.
Yeah, I think that's what I was most not surprised, but what I was most pleased to see was that they actually decided to beat the Thunder with depth. How do you beat a team that's supposed to be the deepest in the NBA with depth? And then they bodied them up and was physical.
We knew Shea was gonna come out firing.
Oh yeah,
but nobody joined him.
And Shea, to his credit, you could tell this was a huge game. Normally, he takes a breather the first few minutes of the second quarter. They let him in, so you knew how important it was, and of course, that sort of aided in having the Thunder chip away at how the Spurs started in the first quarter. This was a well-played game, period. This was a well-played game. But it's a simple case of the Spurs just crashing the offensive boards and denying one too many shots on the defensive end, and the Thunder just not having an answer for the early onslaught that the Spurs had, because when the Thunder came, the Spurs brought the hammer and said, "Nope, not tonight, not tonight." Well, the back-to-back bid for the Thunder went awry, and now we get a chance to see the Spurs advance to the NBA Finals, and it's the first time that they have gotten there in 12 years. But this was a wonderful series.
What a series, man!
We had some really good series in this year's NBA playoffs. I'm sorry, this is the best one. This is the best one because we got a chance to see two teams that are somewhat evenly matched, but the Thunder does not have what the Spurs do have, and that is they have a transcendent player. I love SGA. He's awesome. He can sneeze 30 points and not think twice, no matter what. But Victor, he can get points in the paint, points in mid-range, points from 3, and he can change his shot, if not swat it altogether away from the rim. I mean, he just and what we got a chance to see in this series, that perimeter defense of the Spurs. They forced the Thunder, who were pretty efficient behind the arc. They forced into some bad shots this series.
Oh, you can tell it was wearing on SGA.
Mm-hmm.
That man needed help.
and that's why I can't. And that's why I can't really say Well, this is a case of SGA did his thing, but the supporting cast didn't. Yeah, and that could be a headline, but the truth of the matter is his supporting cast did as well as they could. They just ran into a team that was hungrier.
And except for one person, but I'm gonna say that one.
I'm not mentioning that one person on purpose, but the rest of the team, they did what they were supposed to do. But I agree with you. The Thunder are not where we are here with the Spurs, in my estimation, because of that one person.
So the Spurs to the NBA Finals for the first time since 2014 when they routed the Miami Heat.
Mm-hmm. So you're probably saying to yourself, wait a minute. Spurs, Knicks, haven't we seen this before? Yes, we have.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you need to stick around and find out.
Now, when did we see that last? We'll talk about that.
That this guy has shown. Let me shut up. James off the
steal. Rebound by Adams, his sixth. Morant blows by Primo. Attack.
Sometimes it's not even about the jerseys. It's the hat that sets it off. Snapbacks, fitties, truckers, whatever your style is, that's how you rep your team every day. If you're looking to upgrade your collection or find your next go-to cap, we got you covered. Hit the link in the description and shop the latest styles right now through Liz. Every team, every style, every day. Top off your fit the right way.
Join Ryan McCarthy.
I became a Jets fan because Kermit the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
And Dustin Henry.
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
As they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. On YouTube and where you can find all podcasts.
And welcome back to Shooting Lights Out. To Mr. Johnson, you want to tell us who sponsors Shooting Lights Out?
All right. Well, Shooting Lights Out is sponsored by Paramount Plus. By Lids. You just saw that wonderful commercial that was executively produced by the one Playmaker. And Fanatics, where fans get to fan.
So we bring in a certain segment back, but in a different form for this show. Because there's some things that we need to get off our chest. Okay. So get ready for some hot fire. Have we missed this segment? We've been waiting to do a segment like this for quite some time, but we needed the right moment to do it. We just can't go around and just go off on things left and right just because we feel like going off. No, we have to have the right moments, the right intel, the right things for us to go off on. So, with that being said, first up, Mr. Johnson, have you seen this before?
I've seen that particular clip before. Yes. Have I seen this particular instance? Yes, but it's rare. It's very rare.
Miss Cailtin Clark. I have to give you a fragrant foul because guess what? When the Portland Fire is singing you out defensively, That's a problem. You're the face of the league. You are the one who Cole Johnson and Stephen A. Smith like to call the cash cow. And an expansion team is exposing you on defense.
That's because she is the cash cow of the league. She's a golden goose.
I get that. But an expansion team is exposing her on defense.
And good. I'm glad they are.
Now, I will admit, refs, I do have a problem with y'all because and then when I say this, even Cole Johnson will have a problem with y'all. He might say what he need to say right out the gate when I say this. But how the hell does Raymond Johnson foul out in 10 minutes?
The officiating, I hate to say it, the officiating at times with the WNBA games. Okay, fine. I'll say it's horrible. It's horrendous. Have the players understand how you're going to call the games, and then we won't have these problems. But
10 minutes. Raymond Johnson, 10 minutes, 6 fouls. How does that happen?
Sick.
Cailtin Clark had 5. And I know for a certain it should have been about 3, maybe 4. I know for a fact one of the fouls, she didn't even touch the one. They just called the foul. So don't get me wrong.
Sometimes these refs think that they're the stars of the show.
So don't get me wrong. All of this heat aimed towards Cailtin Clark. Not all of it. Because the refs, they always terrible in this Portland game. Very, very terrible. But Cailtin Clark. You letting the special teams suck you out on defense? They treated you like the Knicks treated James Harden. You should feel some type of way.
I hope she feels some type of way.
And those of you Cailtin Clark stands out there, shut the hell up.
No, keep talking so we can embarrass you because we will now know you don't know jack about basketball.
I told you at the beginning of the season, shut up and let Stephanie Wright coach the team.
Well, obviously, you need to tell the Cailtin Clark that.
Because guess what? If y'all want Cailtin Clark to be as best as she did, guess what's going to happen? She's going to get some hard coaching. And that's probably what Cailtin Clark needs, okay? Because we're not in college. We're in the pros.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all want Cailtin Clark to be like Luka Doncic? He has not run a ring. You do realize that, right?
Oh, he barely has made a finals appearance.
She can shoot like Steph. But Steph understood, I got to involve my game in other ways too.
Mm-hmm.
Because maybe you go back and watch when the Golden State Warriors beat Boston for that fourth and final championship. You weren't sorting out Steph on defensive end that much because Steph was like, okay, if y'all going to keep trying to sort me out on defense, I got to do something about that.
Yeah, made to pay on the other end to the point where it didn't matter if they singled them out on defense.
Steph was like, okay, I'm gonna get this still here. I'm gonna challenge you, make you change your shot. Steph was putting that work on defense.
I was gonna say, and then on top of it, he played lanes, which for a guy who's 6'3" and less than 200 pounds, that really is how you're supposed to play defense. That's how you will actually make a change, make an impact on the defensive end.
So do y'all want Cailtin Clark to be the best player that she can be? Or you just want to see Cailtin Clark shoot threes all day long? You can't have both.
Well, I think Cailin needs to understand she can't have both either.
And Caitlin, work on your damn defense. That's what Kendrick Person say. Learn how to slide them puppies.
I love that. Slide them puppies. I love that.
Because if people can blow by you like that, like Portland did, you in trouble. They don't care if you can shoot threes from half court. They know you can't slide them puppies. We finna run right by you. And they're gonna keep doing it until you say enough is enough. So Cailtin Clark, get on your defensive game. Because if you get on your defensive game, you make the FIBA even more dangerous than what they already are. And those of you out there, shut up and leave Stephaine right alone.
What did I tell you all? What did I tell you? I told you that when you have this man in the playoffs and you get to the month of May, the disappearing act is on. I was hating the fact that I kept hearing people say, "Well, he might change. He's one of the best offensive players in the game in the history of the game." Stop lying. This man did what he always does in the playoffs: disappear. I mean, we had one double-digit loss after one double-digit loss after one double-digit loss. The last 3 games of the conference finals were double-digit losses. I don't think the Cavaliers brought number 1 to Northeastern Ohio just to act as if he doesn't matter if he's on the court. Now, part of why he's there was to help out Donovan Mitchell. Part of why he's there was to make sure that he could solidify what Donovan Mitchell would put forth. Well, Donovan Mitchell was boogieing. Where were you, Beard? Oh, that's right. You already checked out and you was thinking about raining money on hoes. On the court and on the sideline. As you always are in the month of May.
No, he was too busy getting abused by Jalen Brunson.
I mean,
I'm surprised Kenny Atkinson didn't call the cops for the abuse that James Harden was put through.
I mean, I got sunshine on a cloudy day. And when you want James Harden to not score, we got the month of May. There you go. The month of May's come, and James Harden disappeared yet again. Look, Beard, I've been seeing that you want to come back to Houston. Gosh, I don't want you to come. But unfortunately, Tillman Fertitta might be stupid enough to sign you. Tillman, if you're watching this, don't do it, son. Steer clear from him. You don't deserve to be back here, because if you thought it was embarrassing this year, you had Kevin Durant and you got no further. In fact, you lost in 6 games this year, whereas you lost in 7 last in the first round. It is quite possible you might get a gentleman's suite if you bring this man onto the Rockets in the first round for next year. Don't you do it. Oh, baby, don't you do it. Don't do it, babe. Don't break my heart. Oh, don't do it, baby. Don't do it. Don't bring James Harden to Houston. Don't you do it. He needs not to set foot here as a Rocket. Actually, he needs to not set foot in Houston as a basketball player altogether. Mr. Harden, I think it's time for you to retire. And if you're going to get a ring, you might as well try to get on one of these benches and be like Sam Cassell. Learn how to be an assistant head coach and work your way that way. But as for a basketball player, your time is up. You do not make for a good nor efficient 6th man, and you don't want to be a role player, much less should you chop your role and be one. But you've been disappointing us since 2012 in the playoffs, 2026, 15th year in a row, and you did it again. Congratulations, James. You went to Cancun early. Enjoy.
Chet Hungry. Mr. Hungry. Well, what can I say about you, sir? Well, first and foremost, how did that taste? That was in game 7, by the way. How did that taste, Chet? Do you see the look on Wendy's face? He enjoyed every second of that poster he put you on. Speaking of game 7, Mr. Chet Hungry, what did you do in game 7, by the way? Can you hear me, Mr. Johnson?
He did a James Harden. He disappeared.
Let me see. 4 points, 4 rebounds, no assists, 2 turnovers, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 2 fouls, and you only took 2 shots in game 7.
So basically what you're saying is Mr. Holmgren, he did like what Charles Barkley said Jeremiah Green one time did. He did the triple single.
Game 7 on your home court, and you want to take 2 shots, and you had to eat this poster too? From the man who publicly acknowledged he can't stand your ass. He saw 7 and he said, I got him. And it did that to you. And your punk ass didn't want to show up. The world thought you was the second best player on OKC. Well, guess what we find out? Now it's actually J-Dub who was out injured with a hamstring. He's the third place player. Oh, no, we find out that's supposed to be AD. That's actually AJ Mitchell, who actually bust the Lakers' ass. In the conference semifinals. So come to find out, you're not 1, 2, or 3 on OKC. And the reason I be finding out because Victor Wembanyama said, I'm whooping your ass when I see you.
How you let a man who took getting on the court with you personal, and you just let him dog walk you. That's embarrassing.
You fooled the whole world, Chet. And Witter said, no, I got you. I can't stand him. And made you turned you into the second, who's supposed to be the second player on OKC to like the 4th or the 5th player on OKC. 2 of them was out with an injury. We couldn't see AJ Mitchell since game 3. They tried to bring J-Dub back, but he only gave you 10 minutes and 1 point in game 6. And then a guy by the name of Jerry McCain came off the bench, and he was trying his best to help SGA out. But he gave you 12 off the bench. Cailtin Wallace gave you 17, who was in the starting lineup. Even Alex Caruso gave you 12. Even Isaiah Hartenstein scored more points than you.
He showed more heart.
He damn sure showed more heart than you. There's a certain word I want to use, but I can't use the word. So, Mr. Johnson, can you find a replacement word for me? Because you know what word I want to use, because that's what Victor Wembanyama did to you. He turned you into a certain type of person.
A scrub.
Good. We rock with TLC.
A punk. A welcome mat.
And then you looked pitiful in your press conference. Very pitiful.
Not as pitiful as that dunk you showed earlier.
So, Chet, you have a very, and I do mean very long off season. Because now, when they talk about OKC, all eyes is on you now, not SGA. SGA went out with 35 points. You can only give him 4. What kind of help is you?
No matter what you are watching, one thing stays the same. You gotta represent your team the right way. Whether it's jerseys, hats, or hoodies, what you wear is part of the experience. If you're looking to upgrade your gear or getting ready for the next game, we got you covered. Hit the link in the description and shop officials licensed gear through Fanatics. Every team, every league, every fan. Don't just watch the game, represent it.
And welcome back to Shooting the Lights Out here, but got some things I need to work on. Hold on. I gotta bring my clothes back first.
I was like, "Whoa, you doing this solo? Well, no problem. I'll just lay back."
I am not doing this solo. So there's something I did forget to add, but I will add it on here as soon as we get done with this. So, the game still watching the WNBA, sir. Oh, that's the one.
That's not a WNBA game to watch.
Yeah, I had to figure out which one I forgot because they look the same from the beginning. So let's do this. There it goes. Let's grab the right one, shall we? We'll get to that one. Here we go. Change the viewpoint for the WNBA tonight.
Tonight we have the Storm. They are visiting Dallas to play the Wings.
Oh, and by the way, it's your favorite month of the year in the WNBA.
June. Why?
No.
Is this Pride Month?
No, the other reason why, if you read the top part of the screen.
I thought this crap was supposed to be in July. Lord. Okay. Even though this is not as bad as the weak sauce that it is when we get to November in the NBA, it's still pointless. Anyway, the Storm, they go down to Dallas. They play those wretched Wings. Tip-offs at 8 p.m. and all times are Eastern. USA will have the broadcast for that game. And as for the Mercury hosted the Lynx, that's at 10 p.m., 7 p.m. local. You have NBC Sports Networks, NBC, and Peacock on the televising for this one. Commissioner's Cup, what type of crap is that? Why? Why?
Tomorrow.
Oh my gosh. So on Tuesday, we have the Sun needing to lose to the Dream. I'm sorry, the Sun are traveling to Atlanta to play the Dream.
Not needing to lose. They will lose. They will lose to the Dream. Then again, that might be wrong because Brittany Griner coming back to the ATL.
This is true. 7:30 p.m. is the tip-off for that one. Up the way.
As a matter of fact, before you continue on, can I have something? What the hell's wrong with y'all? How you release Haley Van Lith and then sign to a developmental contract? Y'all ain't know what development is.
No, they know what development is. They just don't develop players. They just develop ways to leave. But I digress. Up I-95-ish, but up the East Coast. In the nation's capital, we have the Mystics hosting the Sky. Again, the tip-off is 7:30 there as well. On the West Coast.
Why do you say the Sky like that? Why do you say it like that?
I'm sorry. It just makes me think of a character that I've seen in a movie. That's how you would say Sky.
Okay.
You sell crap in blue sky. I love that. The Valkyries going from east to west. They host the expansion Fire. And the Sparks, they host the Aces. The Sparks put a whooping on the Aces when they were in Las Vegas. Now they've returned the favor. Will the Aces return the beatdown favor? Both those games will tip off at 10 Eastern, 7 p.m. local time. And
I'm not gonna do it now. I'm not gonna do it now because
they all are under the WAC Commissioners Cup banner. And yes, there's something that I did not say because there's something that is glaringly not here. For all four.
But it is here. It is here, though.
Yes. So we get to Wednesday, and the Tempo decide to travel from Toronto to New York. To Brooklyn to Parade the Liberty. Tip-off is at 7:30 p.m. there. And at 10 Eastern, you have the Storm. They're hosting the Mercury in Seattle. Both games will be televised on the USA Network.
Before I get to my great.
Oh, Dre, or Sports Way with Dre Day podcast. He says, Wednesday against the Tempo is going to be a tough one for the Liberty.
Adam Silver, you are helping the WNBA, correct? So if you are helping the WNBA, correct, sir? When does your NBA Finals start?
NBA Finals, it starts on Wednesday night.
Wednesday night. What I'll be looking at on the screen?
These games will be televised and performed Wednesday night. So
you gonna have the WNBA have two games on USA Network on Wednesday night, the day of the finals.
Yeah, and the finals will start in between.
The day of the finals.
The finals will start in between.
But if you go to Tuesday, where there's nothing to watch, if you unless you're a hockey fan, because that's the Stanley Cup Finals,
right?
I can't watch none of these games.
You was gonna go to that. I just wanted to be a nice, calm. You just let that go, because we understand that WBA is inept when it comes to scheduling.
I can't watch none of the games. The off day for the NBA, and you televise no WNBA games.
But when the all eyes on the NBA, they have two WNBA games.
You know what? I'm sorry. Stop being ass backwards. It don't get no more ass backwards than this. You know the NBA Finals is on June 3rd. That means June 2nd is open for viewership for the WNBA. No games televised. USA Network, Peacock, NBC, Paramount Plus, CBS, Prime Video. ESPN, because they on ABC.
Who televising these games? Nobody. Oh, sorry, Keith Sweat.
Iron Television. Well, Iron's on Friday, so I'm leaving. Actually, I'm gonna take Iron out of it. They're on Fridays. I named 7 goddamn channel/streaming services, and then one of y'all said, "Don't you think it would be a smart move that we televise like 2 of these games on the 2nd, and don't try to really worry about televising the 2 games that's on the 3rd?"
Nobody.
Ain't nobody come up with it. Nobody use their goddamn brain for this. But Mr. Johnson, we want to grow the league.
Well, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to grow the league, and they're doing a wonderful job growing the league.
Growing the league, my ass.
I mean, look, they're televising two WNBA regular season games on a June 9th,
and as soon as 8 o'clock hit. No, actually, I take that back, because knowing how Knowing how ESPN is, as soon as 7 o'clock hit, all eyes is on. Guess what? The pregame. You know why? You know why? You know why? Because matter of fact, let's go. I'm gonna show you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Because let's go to the NBA Finals. The New York Knicks versus the San Antonio Spurs.
There's 4 people I can think of that we'll be seeing.
Hey, it's 1999 all over again, Coach Johnson.
Well,
hey.
Well, I mean, actually, 1999. That was the last time the Knicks and the Spurs faced off. Says it was 27 years ago when the Knicks were last in this spot, and the team they faced off was the Spurs.
Who whooped that ass in 5 games?
The Knicks are now back into the same finals, and now they face the Spurs, the same team that whooped them out of the 1999 NBA Finals.
What? How? All right, all y'all want the old school, right? Well, here you go. We're back to 1999. We went back to the future.
2000 party overs out of time.
And
so
this is the schedule.
On a party like it's 1999.
Here's your TV schedule, Mr. Johnson. If those of you who want to know,
yes, all and that's what I was saying. With the games that's televised with WBA, one's at 7:30. I was thinking, I was gonna say 7, but it's 7:30. One's at 7:30, one's at 10. I was gonna say that the NBA game when they tip off is gonna split the difference. So yes, on the 3rd, that's when the finals begin. The Spurs and San Antonio will be hosting the Knicks in game 1. The tip off is at 8:30 p.m.
Oh, you know why ain't nobody gonna be watching? And I'm a Liberty fan. And you think I'm gonna go watch my Liberty play the tempo on Wednesday night? No, you want to know why? I think an hour from before tempo, which would probably be the same time as the Liberty game tips off. Inside the NBA is covering the finals for the first time.
That's what I was gonna say. There's 4 gentlemen that people are going to want to see because they want to see one Dr. Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny Smith, Charles Barkley, and of course, any basketball fan / nerd is going to mark out over the fact that Ernie Johnson gets to cover his first NBA Finals. Congratulations to you, sir. Of all the people, I'm so happy for you that you get a chance to do this. So yes.
You think I'm gonna miss that?
No basketball head is gonna miss that. Really, you gotta be someone like Dre without the knowledge of the NBA, because Dre actually has strong knowledge of the NBA. So he ain't gonna miss inside the NBA. But you got to have like the fandom and knowledge of Dre about the WNBA, and it's all only about the WNBA. That's the only way you would miss inside the NBA. Otherwise, you ain't missing it if you love basketball. But see, Adam is thinking, we got the market cornered. For the ladies, they can watch WNBA on the USA, and then ESPN and ABC. We got the NBA Finals on lock.
You dumbass. All you had to do was put the goddamn. You could have told USA we making a change. Instead of y'all doing this, how about y'all pick 2 games from here Tuesday? That way, you get more viewership.
Mm-hmm.
You got 2 7:30 games, and guess what? You can do Sky and the Mystics. Mm-hmm. But if you want star power, hey, Angel Reese is playing with the Dream. And you know people want to see Angel Reese, the good and the bad.
Oh Lord, not the good and the bad.
So you know how people are. Oh, Angel Reese is on TV. Let's see how many layups he misses if you're on the bad side. And if you're on the good side, like me and Cole Johnson are, Let's go, Angel. Show them how it's done. You in the A now.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want, you can do the rematch. You know, Kelsey Plum went off for 38 when she visits Vegas. Let's see what the response is going to be from Asia Wilson and the rest of the crew when they go to LA. But y'all want to market the WNBA. I get it. Sonny Brondella returns to New York on June 3rd.
And
we don't care. It's the NBA Finals.
There you go. There it is right there.
It's NBA Finals Day. We don't
There
care.
it is right there.
Cindy, thank you for the championship, but when it comes to Wednesday, June 3rd, I don't care. I'm sorry, New York. I love y'all. Y'all my team. But I don't care. I'll be watching the other New York team.
Actually,
even though I don't like them.
Unfortunately, most of New York will be watching the other New York team.
Hell, even Toronto might be watching the other New York team. It's the NBA Finals. And people ain't finna miss Shaq, Charles, Kenny, and EJ. It's their first ever finals, and people have been craving for them to actually do an NBA Finals.
And now they got it.
And it's here.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't missing that. Absolutely. You dumb as hell for this. You really are.
Not dumb as hell. Mm.
You dumb as hell for this. How you say you trying to help the WNBA, but you ain't helping them market it correctly? You know damn well ain't nobody finna watch no WNBA game during the finals. But no, this is what they do. This is what they do. But enough of that. To the finals, sir.
Yes. To the finals. This is going to be interesting. You have a team that is athletic defensively going against another who is more fundamentally sound defensively. But if it sounds strange because it's rare you ever see it, it seems like the Knicks offense dictates their defense. And normally it's the opposite. But it seems like their offense dictates the defense. It's like when the whole team cooks, it seems like that's when they're really locked in on the defensive end.
All right, sir. So I got some matchups for you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, let's get the first two out the way. Number one, Karl Anthony Towns versus Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, this so Mr. Towns, you want us to think that you a big time big man, right? Now's your time. You'll get no bigger, no sterner, no tougher test than one Victor Wembanyama. And you probably wouldn't be able to get him at a better time than now, because any iteration of him from this point forth is going to be even better. So you better boogie on him now, because if you don't stand a chance anytime you face him after this year.
So the questions for Cat: can Karl Anthony Towns drag Victor Wembanyama out of the paint? Which means Karl Anthony Towns need to have the ability to do what you always like to say: you're the best shooting big man, right? Well, that's going to be needed in this series.
Not only does he have to be shooting well, but I think he has to commit to make him tired. He has to commit to make Wembanyama tired. Make him work on both ends of the floor. Because that's the only way you're going to tire him out.
Karl, you have done a perfectly good job this playoffs of not committing stupid fouls. Does that change with the Wembanyama?
I agree. This has been the best stretch of basketball Karl Anthony Towns has played in his career. And he is one of the big reasons as to why we are seeing the Knicks where they are. But he has to keep that discipline going. No question. because Victor's locked in.
Who you get the edge to?
I like how Cailtin Towns looks. I do, but I have to give the edge to Victor because I look at him as a guy who he's going to change some shots, and Towns has to force him to focus on him so that Wembanyama is not playing, is not roving to other places. So I don't know if Cat can do it often enough, and that's why I say it's Victor.
All right, edge to Victor Wembanyama. Matchup number 2. This is the matchup I'm looking forward to most. Y'all can have Cat and Victor. I'm looking forward to this. Jalen Brunson versus Stephon Castle.
What's going to win out, the athleticism or the bully? That basically is what it is for me, because Stephon Castle is a guy that he will make your tongue wag. He'll make your tongue wag, and he'll make you earn every single point. And I don't know why that isn't talked about. Why his defensive prowess isn't talked about? Because he makes life hard for point guards.
Well, he was making life hell for SGA.
You know, I mean, for backcourts, he makes life difficult for them.
Don't get it twisted. Y'all might have seen SGA went off for 30 2 times in his whole series.
He got some points, but he wasn't nearly as effective as he normally would be in that series. But that's what Brunson has to look out for, because he has to see this guy halted the back-to-back MVP and did it while still boogieing on the other end his own doggone self. So the Knicks have proven that Brunson doesn't have to go off for 30 to win games. I mean, we just talked about it. Brunson didn't even score 20 in the closeout game that they played a week ago, and they blew the Cavaliers out by 37. So it's not contingent on Brunson scoring 30 points, but it would help. What Brunson has to do is he has to actually make Castle work hard on the offensive end. And I think Brunson's going to have to probably try to be physical against Castle when Brunson has the ball on offense. Tire him out, be physical with him,
and get him in foul trouble.
And get him in foul trouble. That to me, I think that's the way Brunson has to go with it. He has to go that route with it. Otherwise, we see if we have witnessed if Brunson goes the opposite way, like if he goes the SGA route. I don't think that's going to. I think we both agree it won't work out well for Brunson if he does that.
I get it as the Jalen Brunson on this one. He's a bigger body. SGA's taller, but Brunson's more stout.
Yeah, I'm saying he's a thicker guy. Yeah,
and just like SGA, he can create ways of scoring.
Oh yeah.
But this is my matchup. I'm looking forward to this one.
But for the Knicks to hoist this for the first time in 53 years, Brunson's going to have to really be physical with Castle. He's going to really have to be physical with Castle.
So one for the Spurs, one for the Knicks. Victor Brunson. Now let's get down to the nitty-gritty, sir. Matchup number 3, the supporting cast. When I say supporting cast, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, and Anunoby for the Knicks. De'Aaron Fox, Devin Vassell, and Julian Champagnie for the Spurs.
Oh, this is where the series might be won or lost. Oh, because both supporting casts, which it's a crying shame that people are not talking about the Spurs supporting cast like they have talked about the Knicks. But the Spurs supporting cast is awesome. It's awesome. I mean, they have a way to look at Victor and say, okay, so you don't really have it offensively. You don't have it with the points. We got you points wise, big man. All you have to do is just be that presence on defense. And and if we come to you down low, you kick it back out to us. And we'll knock them down. If that perimeter game for the Spurs clicks like it did in Game 7 this past Saturday against the Thunder, the Knicks are going to be in for a long series. But what the Knicks have to do, especially to me, Anunoby and Bridges. Anunoby has to be a big-time presence offensively, physically, and athletically. Bridges has to show why he is one of the best perimeter defenders. And he basically has to rise up to how Vassell and how Fox play perimeterly on defense. He has to actually show, you all talk about their perimeter defensive play. I could do this too. It is key and a must for him to do that.
I'm going to make this plain and simple. Mikal Bridges, you know what the Knicks need from you? They need Brooklyn Nets Mikal Bridges for this.
I mean, when he flew around the court defensively and actually crashed the boards, you mean that
dude who said, Brooklyn, I got you.
That Nets Bridges? Okay.
So, hey, I can get buckets too.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't just not just a defensive player. I can get buckets too.
They're gonna need him to get buckets.
Because guess what? Julian Champagne said, I can get buckets from 3.
Yeah.
Devin Vassell said, I can get buckets.
I can get buckets from 3 too.
Now,
you know Fox is saying that. So
I was just gonna say, what will be a nightmare for Knicks fans and Dre? If you still watching, I know you agree because you know your best, but what would be a nightmare if De'Aaron Fox said, I'm here now?
Yeah.
If De'Aaron Fox said, I'm here now, it's gonna be a problem for the Knicks.
Yeah. And be like, yeah, we know this is Victor's team, but I'm the Robin to his Batman. The Knicks should not want De'Aaron Fox to think like that. Because that Robin has all the green light necessary to cook the way we have seen him cook in past years.
So, but to stop that, I believe that would be a Josh Hart assignment.
Oh, of course it's a Josh Hart assignment. Oh, all day there's a Josh Hart assignment.
So I'm telling you, Knicks fans, right now, do not let De'Aaron Fox be the one to get in the groove. If Stephaine, Vassell, and Champagne do what they did against OKC, you seen it. It is what it is. Well, we can match that. We got Carl, we got Brunson, OG can do his thing, and hopefully we can get a Mikal Bridges from the Brooklyn Nets, not the Mikal Bridges we have been having from the New York Knicks. But if the De'Aaron Fox adds to the Spurs repertoire, good luck. Good luck. Because now you got all 5 you got to worry about.
Which that's the issue you have when you face off against the Spurs. You do not want to have the starting 5 just explode at the same time where it's like, we can't stop any of them.
And then the bad part about it is I ain't even get to Dylan Harper, who comes off the bench. And he a rookie. And he balling like he been here for 5 years already.
And to me, I think that's where the Knicks are going to have to really shine. They're going to have to find a way to score to the point where they can offset not just the Spurs bench, but some of the starting 5 of the Spurs too. That is a real tall order. Because I think that's what the Thunder tried to do, and they were successful to do it 2 times in their 3 wins. But it is hard to beat that team 4 times when you have 6 or 7 guys that on any given night could give you 20.
See, the Knicks don't have that.
They don't.
You know, Brunson can do it. Carl can do it if he's into the game. OG can do it.
He can do it. Bridges could do it too, but you gotta hope he wants to do it.
We just starting to see. I was just like, we just starting to see Mikal do it.
Mm-hmm.
You got that one game from Josh Hart, and then all of a sudden, you know, Miles McBride decided to come in and
I was going to say
light some threes, and then Landry Shamet decided to come in and wanted to light up some threes.
You just mentioned the name McBride. That's the dude that's going to have to. He's going to have to match Champagne. If he's hot from 3, McBride has to be just as hot from 3.
So we got that going on. Before I get to my 4th matchup, sir, the injury to Mitchell Robinson.
Oh yeah.
How does that play a factor?
Huge. Huge, because you need all the big bodies you can to send in Wembanyama's direction. Even if you know you're sending that body there and he's guaranteed for 6 fouls, you gotta use them fouls up. You gotta lean on Wembanyama. You gotta make him work, force him to be physical. That's where the Thunder failed, and that's why you and I tag team talking about Chet Holmgren, because that was his job to do, and he massively failed. He came up shorter than Mini-Me, and he was supposed to be the biggest reason why the Thunder beat the Spurs, and he was the biggest reason why they didn't. And with Robinson, he was that big body where, okay, we could buy some fouls. You don't have that. That's going to be a huge problem for the Knicks.
I know they're going to have it.
I would say they could buy some more fouls, meaning
they're going to have it. The problem is how effective he's going to be with that cast. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, I mean, you need him for boards. You need him to lean on Wembanyama. Wembanyama could be slick, although I'm not saying that I'm suggesting he can do it. But he could be slick, bang on that cast. You make him remember, oh, shoot, I'm hurt. It's very easy to do that.
And then matchup number 4. Mike Brown versus Mitch Johnson.
You know, I think Mike Brown has wanted to come back here so he could prove that he was not a LeBron James errand boy. And I feel for Tyronn Lue, because unfortunately people are probably thinking that way about him. But, you know, he now can have the same as Eric Spoelstra in, see, I could coach a team to the finals without that guy. And now he has coached a team to the finals without that guy. And he's done a magnificent job. What I've loved about what he has done with this team, his resume already comes, I'm all about defense. He freed them up offensively, freed this Knicks team up offensively, and they flow a lot better that way. Now, on the other end, Johnson is, I love the fact he has a young crew that plays like veterans. You got a young crew of guys who they don't make the key mistake. They don't have that selfish bone about them. They sacrifice. They're willing to sacrifice part of their game for the whole. They're willing to sacrifice the greater me for the greater good of we. And to get a young team to buy in to do that, that's dangerous. And to get a young team that has this much talent to do it is lethal. And that is going to be a tough task. But if you're going to say who has the edge, technically Mike Brown does because he has more time on the bench. And he has finals experience to boot, both as a head coach and as an assistant coach.
Those are our key matchups going into the NBA Finals. As they like to say, Mr. Johnson, feet to the fire.
Yeah, this is going to be a good series, really. I think it's going to be a surprisingly good series.
Who you got? Feet to the fire.
Feet to the fire. Well, Wise, I love you. You know that. I love your Knicks. I had them coming this far. You know I did. They don't have the horses. I want to say that they'll hoisted Larry O'Brien Trophy for the first time in 53 years. They just don't have the horses because they simply do. Forget the rest. They do not have an answer for Victor Wembanyama. And I mean on both sides of the floor. They don't have an answer for him. And until you find an answer for him, that's going to be a problem for any team in any series. And Cailtin Towns is not your answer.
So Mr. Johnson's picking the San Antonio Spurs. I left one key factor out. I left that out on purpose.
Well, Spurs have home court advantage. So that's not.
No, that's not the Venice I'm talking about. I'm going back to something that you can't stand. Let's go all the way back to December. Las Vegas.
Oh Lord, that bull tournament.
Who was in the finals for that?
These two, and I know Knicks won it. I know, but 1, it's December. 2 is regular season. 3, it's for a cup that don't matter. It's for a trophy that don't matter.
Did y'all see how Victor reacted when Shai Gilgeous-Alexander got that MVP trophy? Did you see what he did in that game 1?
That's why I loved it. That's why I was like, I still say that was the right choice because, and the reason why I know this because I witnessed something similar. You remember in 1995, and David Robinson earned that MVP. He earned it. But they even worse than with SGA. This was the time they were awarding MVPs on the floor. So you had David Robinson grab the MVP trophy. Hakeem's on the same floor watching it, and he decided to flambe and cook that man that whole series. That's what I loved, and that's exactly what happened with SGA. With SGA. Because when Victor saw, I got slighted. Well, let me show you who the real MVP is, and he proceeded to do that. That I love it. I love it.
The Knicks won the Commissioner's Cup or the NBA Cup over the Spurs. Even though most of us can care less about it, Victor can use that as fuel.
And I hope he does.
You beat me for one championship, but you ain't beat me for this one.
Yeah, you're not beating me for the one that really matters. Yeah.
Give me the San Antonio Spurs. And guess what? That means the West and the NBA is on lockdown. Because that Spurs team ain't going nowhere.
No. If they're wise and they sign those guys, it is quite feasible in the next 10 years they can do this 5 times. It is quite feasible. And I mean, I'll even say it this way. It is easy for them to win 5 out of the next 10. Because I think they could win more than 5 if they hold them intact in the next decade.
If the Knicks pull this off, the NBA world can breathe a sigh of release because there's a blueprint of getting past the alien known as Victor Wembanyama.
If not, good luck, because you're going to be trying to find that blueprint until 2035. And you better hope you find one in between that time, now and that time, because that dude is only going to get better and only going to round off, be more mature, and his game is only going to expand that much more the older he gets. Because he's not even close to his prime yet. He's just scratching the surface, and he's already in NBA Finals.
Cool McCain.
You thought you wanted Gunther against Chad Gable, but you didn't. And I'm going to tell you why. Chad Gable would take everything that Gunther's done and bury it.
The Playmaker.
It was on site. AJ Styles walked out there, seen LA Knight. Oh, okay, nigga. LA Knight hopped out the car. Let's go.
Break down everything in TNA, AEW, and all of the WWE programming. Join these two kings, monarchs of wrestling, live every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central on the Playmakerz Sports Talk YouTube channel.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the show. And before we end the show, we have one thing that we must do. It's starting to become a tradition on this program. So the last voice you'll be hearing from this point forward is one of my co-hosts, Coach Johnson, and this is why. So for the Playmaker, I will be talking to y'all next week. Y'all enjoy the rest of the program.
That this guy is shown. Let me shut up.
This goes to best woman player in the world. You're talking about the word integrity? Because they don't have any. You ain't got no balls, do you? WNBA owners, you ain't got no balls, do you? Really? Really? So we should just tip our cups, throw through ice cubes in a small glass, and just tip the brown liquor. You talk about compromising? Because they'll be compromised doing it. It's on. It's the utter blasphemy. I'm sorry, my bad. Professionalism. So now we have come to the end of these two teams' seasons, and I hope that you all are ready to enjoy the romp through the season for both the Cavaliers and the Thunder. Both teams, they did a wonderful job getting this far, but unfortunately, they fell far short. Well, the Thunder didn't fall far short. They just fell short. But the Cavaliers, they fell far short. What happened to the team that we saw when you all bound together and you held off the Raptors in the first round in 7 games, and then you were down 2-0 and 3-2 to the Pistons, and you blew them out at Detroit in Game 7. What happened to that team? Because once they got to Madison Square Garden, Game 1 of the conference finals, you all played 3 of the best quarters that you probably did all year long, and then you followed it up by playing the worst quarter from 7 minutes to go in regulation and all 5 minutes of overtime. You probably played the worst quarter of your season, and that doomed you the rest of the way. Well, you all heard me talk talked glowingly about James Harden last week with my co-host, and you understood that. I said that it's a crime that they brought this man onto the team, and you needed to have the Evan Mobleys and the Jared Allens to stand up. And if that's the case, then what's the point in having someone like a James Harden? Well, we saw why I said that. We saw why. Because that dude was turning the ball over more than Arby's turnover pastries that they serve and they buy and they sell. Turnover after turnover after turnover, and the team seemed to follow suit. And what I dislike is one, Mr. Kenny Atkinson, who had the nerve to actually opine that in the 3 games that they had a 3-0 series deficit, that 2 out of the 3 games you all should have won. No, sir. No, sir. You see, that losing mentality is why your team is sailing, takes me away from where I'm going. Could it be? That's why you all are sailing. You all are kicking back and relaxing because you all thought that you was going to coast into the finals because you all thought you could handle the Knicks because you had a good 3 quarters in the first game. And then you realized you just don't measure up. I'm so sorry for you, but I'm not. You got swept, and you deserve to be swept, and you deserve to have your season end on your home floor where you showed such a porous performance that Rocket Arena turned into Madison Square Garden West right before our very eyes. It was wonderful that the Cavaliers season ended in a lot of applause, and none of it directed toward your team. And then there is the Thunder. Now, I want to say, SGA, you did a wonderful job. You did as much as you could. It was on your shoulders, and you did an admirable job in bringing that team as close as you could to victory. Isaiah Hartenstein, you did a wonderful job of being the big man presence that team sorely needed. J-Dub, you did wonderful in being hurt, but you still labored on. Caruso had a good game at times. Dort did his job too. I mean, you all did as well as you could. I mean, you all tried to pull the wagon. But there was one glaring problem. The man who was supposed to be the Robin to SGA's Batman, Chet Holmgren, decided to pull a James Harden and disappear right before your very eyes. When he was challenged by Victor Wembanyama saying, I'm taking this personal. I'm taking this matchup personal. I want to grind one Mr. Holmgren in the dirt, and proceeded to grind Mr. Holmgren into the dirt. You needed him to say, oh, no, you don't. I'm going to match your energy, and I'm going to show you I'm not a pushover. Well, in Game 7, you proved you weren't a pushover, but you proved that you make for a good mannequin or a good model for a poster. Congratulations. And you all were supposed to be the team to beat this year. You all were supposed to be here, NBA Finals. We were supposed to see Game 1 in Oklahoma City, but no, we have to go a little bit further down I-35 South. And why? Because your squad just wasn't good enough because of one player. The coaching was even. The play was rather even. The superstars showed up. That was a wash. But you had one number 7 who did not come to play. And because of that, we had to say bye-bye. And we'll see you in Cancun, Oklahoma City Thunder. It was a wonderful time while it lasted. And your time as champs may only be last year. It may be short-lived because you now are seeing your future, and your future just knocked you out, had your season start early, and your future might be now. I feel for you both, Thunder and Cavaliers, and I feel for you both, Cavaliers and Thunder fan. But be happy. Be happy. Of the 30 teams, 26 other fan bases cannot say they got as far as you two did. But there's a winner and there's a loser. And unfortunately, you two were the 2 losers in the conference final round. Programming note, right after this, you can stay on the Playmakers Network channel and you can watch Monarchs of Wrestling. Join my brother, Cool McCain, along with my co-host, Darnell Playmaker Solins, as they break down all things in WWE, Clash in Italy, and the 2 Raws that took place and SmackDown that took place in between. That is Monarchs of Wrestling right after this program. And tune in to what we have to say next week when we delve into all things WNBA, and we will review the first 3 games of the 2026 NBA Finals. For Darnell Playmaker Silence, I am the man they call the mad scientist, the man they call the EP of all EPs, Cole Johnson. Here to say farewell, and I hope the tip-off is great, and I hope life is not like iron at times. I hope it is kind to you. Until we meet again next Monday, have a wonderful week, and be blessed, everyone.
You've done good. You've done great. But you can't stop here. You can't stop now. You gotta keep going. Through all your trials and your tribulations, you gotta keep pushing. Now, finish your canvas.
Yeah, gotta get it out the mud, that's the only